Okay, let's talk about our last scheduling feature, the verifying provider credentials. This is a really exciting tool that's going to allow you to restrict the use of service codes to those providers who have the credentials that you've set up to be required to use those service codes. Why might you want to verify credentials? This is going to allow the system to automatically check to ensure your provider has the credential like a BCBA, BCABA, first aid training to be able to work with that client. The system will also check to ensure those credentials do not expire during the date range of appointments that you've set up for that client with the provider. It's a really exciting feature. So let's take a look at how we get it set up in the system. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is set up your service codes to require certain credentials. It can be whatever it is required for your organization, and you can stack them on top of each other. The place that we're going to go to set this up is in the service code settings. So we'll want to navigate to $ service codes. Here's going to be the entire list of your organization service codes. You probably are not wanting to work with all of them at one time, so I would definitely recommend filtering down to the service code or codes you're looking for on the screen. You can do that with a label, so if you wanted to look up for the BCBA codes, get those assigned to some credentials, you can do those all at once. Or if you're looking for a particular service code, you can just type that in here as well. So for example, for today, we're going to just do 97153. Perfect. So once you're at the screen where it's filtered down, the next move you want to make is to click fee schedule rates. Very important step. This is going to get you to the screen that you need to be on. So here's where you would go to set up those specific rates. Now it also houses where you'll set up the certifications. You can see there's an extra column here for certifications that we don't see anything in. So we know we need to get this code set up with some required credentialing. So let's go ahead and select all of these. And if you had multiple on the screen, more than just one code, you would be able to select all of them at once to go ahead and bulk update the credential requirements. Next click you're going to want to make is to the Actions button, Update Credential Requirements. Perfect. So here, we're going to add in a required credentials group. For this code, I want to ensure that my staff member is a BCBA. Add that in. But I also want to require that they have a CPR certification. So now, anytime this code is used in an appointment, the system is going to verify that the provider you're scheduling that appointment with has the credential on file to be a BCBA and that they are CPR certified. Let's say I want someone to be able to use this code that's a BCABA. I can make an OR option. Add in my BCABA and also that CPR certification. So you can stack requirements within one, and you can also create OR options. So your provider would either need to be a BCBA with a CPR certification or a BCABA with a certification to be able to be scheduled with this code. Once you have all of the groups set up, go ahead and select Update. You'll now see that in the certification column, View Update is listed. That lets you know that there is a certification requirement on file for this service code. If you wanted to go in there and update any of those groups or certifications, just go ahead and click in here. It'll get you right to those credential groups. Awesome. So now we want to go about setting up our providers with those matching credentials so that they can be scheduled with the clients. Let's go ahead and navigate into our employees. We are going to use our rockstar therapist, Miss Amber Smith. To get to the credentialing section, we're going to want to click on Profile across the top. Here we'll go into Extended Profile. And we want to go into licenses and certifications. I know we are entering in credentials, but the credentials actually live in this certifications section of CentralReach. So we'll select licenses and certifications, and we want to add those credentials into this bottom bucket here, certifications. So we'll add new. We want to give Amber her BCBA certificate, and let's say she just got recertified. So we're going to go ahead and put this in here. She's going to expire 2 years. And Amber. Perfect. So now we can go ahead and get this saved. That expiration date is going to ensure that anytime we're scheduling her, she wants to have her full BCBA all the way through the end of the patient's recurring series to be able to use that 97153 code. We also want to give her that CPR credential. So we're going to say she just got certified for that as well. She is a lucky girl. She doesn't have a whole lot to get done for the next year. And perfect. So now we have her all set up with her BCBA and her CPR certificate. So when we go to schedule her using that 97153 code, we won't run into any problems. So let's go take a look on the schedule at what it looks like if you went to use that service code and you actually don't have a credential on file for the employee that you're going to schedule. We're going to add another appointment in here, and I'm not going to use Amber actually. I'm going to use a different therapist who we did not add that in for. We can still use Monica. And we want to use this 97153. Oh, the system is telling us the selected provider does not have the credentials required to perform the following services. Now you do see that there is the option to override credential warnings. This is another permission that I'll take you to right after this screen to show you. It's in that same scheduling section. We want to make sure that if there ever is the case where your scheduling manager knows that Charlie does have that credential on file, it hasn't been updated in the system yet, we want to go ahead and get you scheduled. We need this appointment on the calendar so we don't lose this time slot. We definitely have the option that you can override those credential warnings. But again, we're just setting it up so all of these issues that you're running into are coming to your attention at the point of scheduling and not after the service has been provided. So let's go take a look at where that is in the permissions module. We're going to come back down to scheduling manager, permissions, scheduling, and then right here, appointments, override required credentials. So again, this is just a great new feature that's going to allow you to set up point of scheduling restrictions, limitations. Some key things to remember about this one are it's going to be used to restrict scheduling to staff with pay required, non-expired credentials. For the setup on the license and certification screen where the staff credentials need to be added, again, we're adding the credentials in the certification section. I know that's a little confusing to remember, but it is about the way that the system is designed to monitor those certifications as credentials. And then for the second part of that setup that we did first on the fee schedule rate screen, where you designate those payer specific credentials, and then to override, they need the scheduling appointments, override credentials permission.